right, ladies and gentlemen, Knights of Apollo, welcome back to Total War Rome 2. This is a 4v4 siege battle at the grand city of Carthage. Now today we are going to be on defense, so I'm actually playing in this battle. I'm playing as the Parthians, and I am joined by a lot of S factions. We have Sparta, Saba, and Suebi. I was the only faction that didn't, I ruined it. I should have went Seleucids or something. But yeah, Parthia is here. That's who I'm playing as. I was actually playing this live on YouTube, and a lot of people wanted me to play as Parthia, so here we are. Now, on the attack, we have Mysaceae. They are already pushing up some tortoises. We have Egypt. Oh, that's not Egypt. We have Egypt. There's Egypt. Then we have the Carthaginians. And last but certainly not least, we have the Seleucids, who are here on the battlefield. So let's go ahead and get this on to normal speed and see how this one unravels. So I was kind of playing as a bit of a support player here. A lot of my troops were deep in the city. Most of my teammates were holding the outer areas of the different sections of the wall. So I thought, you know, I'll just kind of play passive and send troops wherever needed. Our first row of defense of infantry are going to be hillmen. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units of hillmen that I'm gonna just send up. And the hillmen are decent because they can throw a lot of projectiles. So I'm gonna try to put them in positions where they can throw some projectiles and then charge in. Hopefully, at least that's the plan. And then we already have some walls destroyed, and I'm gonna go ahead and move up some troops to help defend those walls. Right away, Saba's got some forces as well. And what I wanted to show you here really quick, if we do some slow motion, over on this side, Saba actually sallied out some troops. You can see he has probably like, what, 50, 60% of his army out here. I also am going to support him by sending out 2 units of Eastern Cataphracts, try to do some damage out there. We'll just see what happens. At the very least, it keeps them on their toes and kind of distracts them while they're fighting in the, you know, the other parts of the city. So right away, I'm going to go ahead and form like a protective V shape around this breach in the wall. And the Seleucids are also pushing up some tortoises as well. Thorax swords, hillmen. They also have some hillmen. That's something you got to watch out for. Not that hillmen are that threatening, but I don't know. They can absorb ammo, they can throw. We got some tribesmen going in from Mysaceae. And these guys were not much of a threat. And I wonder if Mysaceae at this point was trying to get me to bait like some of my ammo. But they've got them in position. They're kind of holding there, and I'm just kind of waiting. I'm fine with it. They're getting hit with arrows. I mean, every couple seconds, 2 of them. This guy just got hit in the shoulder. Look at, he's like, I don't care. Whatever. Both these guys hitting the shoulder. Whatever. I'm a little sad now. They look a little... Okay, now I'm dead. Nope, nope, he's just sad. Oh, man. I got hit in the shoulder. Ah, he's gonna ruin my entire day. Let's go back over here. Now we have more walls being destroyed by Egypt, and they're gonna go ahead and charge in. They're the first ones, the brave few, to charge in here, the Galatian swordsmen. And right across the way, we have some bold Spartan soldiers waiting for their embrace, their warm embrace. Here comes more tribesmen charging in. Mysaceae is going to follow the Egyptians into battle. I think they're going to be the first ones to clash. Oh, yes, they are, because over... Never mind. Okay, so I thought... Okay, this changed everything, the fact that they are attacking this wall. I had another unit kind of like right here, but if I leave them there, they can easily be flanked. And there's no reason to have 2 units here. Oh, okay, red line. Thank you very much. There's no reason to have 2 units here if they're just going to get flanked. You can hold this entire street down here with a few units just holding at the strategic choke points like we are. So that's our plan. That's our strategy. Now back over here, still no collision of troops. They're using projectiles to soften up these Spartan hoplites. And they're not quite Spartan. They're the Perioki karaoke hoplites. I never know how to pronounce it, but we got Glacian swordsmen over on this side as well. So the enemy, the attackers, have yet to make a decision in terms of, you know, charging their infantry in. They're just kind of holding back and waiting for the best opportunity. Here comes another clash of forces here. Glacian swordsmen. We got some tribesmen ready to go in. Very cool, very cool. And then over here, we've got Club Levy. Someone knows how to play Swaby. Club Levy are actually pretty good for their price. And so they're currently holding back some Thorax swordsmen. Back over on this side, we've got another fight of Club Levy taking on some Hillmen. It's the Battle of the Shiniest Turd over on this side. So meanwhile, Saba has been pushing their troops forward, trying to get their archers in range. And what he's basically doing is he's just trying to do as much damage from a distance. I don't think Saba has any actual motive here or any actual plan of charging in. I think what he wants to do is just shoot at them and then that be it. I also have my cav way on the flank. I'm just kind of rutting with his camel cataphracts and just kind of joining them on this epic stroll through the beach, looking for, you know, the perfect opportunity to get a vulnerable unit like artillery or archers or general or whatever. So let's head back over here. And here we go. They finally charged in their tribesmen, but they are dying quickly to my hillmen, which I've sent 2 units in now to kind of deal with these tribesmen. The Seleucids continue to pour in more and more Thorax swordsmen. They've taken control of this arrow tower, which is really good. It's going to give them extra archer support. And the club... No, these are Bloodsworn now. The Club Levy must have fallen. And now they fight in the trenches of Carthage. Same thing over here. It looks like Bloodsworn and Club Levy are working together. And oh my gosh, the Seleucid unit is getting swarmed. Archer fire coming in too. Projectile. Oh my gosh, they just annihilated that unit. Just annihilated them. More and more Seleucid forces coming into the city. Oh, here we go. Now we're cooking with some propane. Desert legionaries are now entering the battle. And my hillmen are going to chill back here. And this is what they do best. They throw things at enemies that are better than them in close combat. That's how you use the hillmen. So, yeah. Just kind of holding them back, throwing some projectiles, getting some kills, having a good old time. Got another layer of hillmen ready. Just, you know, because hillmen, once they enter close combat, you don't know how long they're going to last. So it's good to have some reinforcements just in case to buy more time. They're also getting an ample opportunity to throw their projectiles. Like I said, this is what I wanted them to do. You know, it's a crime to send in hillmen into melee that have full projectile ammo. You got to make sure they use up all their projectiles. Now over here, the epic fight against Sparta is still continuing, and they've yet to push the Spartans back. Now they have poured in more troops into this area, but they have yet to... Look at that. Look at the carnage here. Yeah, they've yet to really push back the Spartans, who are putting up a very bold stand with their awesome infantry that can hold for ages, it feels like. Oh, back over here. Oh, jeez, we kind of missed it. Let me do some slow motion, explain what happened here. So we have a full-on cab charge because we found a weakness in their army, which is the Egyptian general has been exposed, and we hit him like a magnet. We just charged in and focused all of our cav against the Royal Thorax Swordsmen. It's not even, and that's the problem of having your general as an infantry unit. They're kind of vulnerable to cab charges. So, yeah, it's something you got to look out for. So I'm going to go ahead and pull my cav, I assume, out of there because there's pikes over here that you don't want to run into. There's some Egyptian infantry and Carthaginian infantry closing in. So I'm just kind of surveying the battlefield at this point. This is pretty huge in the battle. And this is the nice thing of playing kind of the support player in terms of infantry and the defense, because now I can really focus on my cav and get them to do things that someone who's fighting a lot with a lot of troops wouldn't be able to do, right? Because they're microing way too much. So I'm going to go ahead and maneuver the Eastern Cataphracts into a better position and continue to look for weak targets. Now my ally Saba, whatever, he charged in his camels to try to get the armored riders here. And this is the general for Masacely. So he is just full-on hot pursuit, and I'm going to do the same thing. We're just, like I said, we're going for vulnerable targets. We're going for units that will have a huge effect on the battle if we can take them out. Now, meanwhile, Masacely has committed probably like 70% of his infantry into the walls. Same thing with the Seleucids. They've committed a ton of forces into the walls. My Hillmen are doing the best they can, holding back elite units. And it's getting a little framey. There's a lot of troop movement, a lot of action going on. Over here, same thing. We got my Hillmen holding the ground, holding the inner streets. Saba charging in, reinforcing this side of Desert Legionary against the Desert Legionaries, which is really important because Sparta could get flanked upon. So that's some great teamwork from Saba to go up there and protect his flank and make sure Masacely doesn't get behind the Spartans, because if they do, it's over. It's over. So an excellent fight is unraveling. Now, as we go back to the epic Cav saga of this fight, my Cav is moving in, and we see some cataphracts from, yeah, I'm gonna go for it. We see some cataphracts here because that's the general trying to protect his archers who are out of position. His archers are out in the open, and yeah, we're gonna go for him. Sorry, I had a brain fart there. We're gonna go for him. Now, I am sending one unit. Look at this. I'm gonna just, I pretended I was going for the general. Saba kind of got his attention. Good move by keeping his archers out of my path. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Now we can sandwich the general, which honestly, killing a general is probably a bit better than killing the archers. I mean, both would be great, right? But let's take out this general. It's a really good Hellenic cataphract unit. It's really good. The archers are now firing at me, but there's some juicy targets of archers over here. Swaby sallied out some Bloodsworn, came out of nowhere and got these archers by surprise with infantry because they're so focused on my cav. Now they're, good move there, opening fire on my cataphracts. My cataphracts are exhausted, but they gotta keep going. And I know they've been running around like maniacs, but they're doing God's work. Look at that. Look at that. Nice little charge into these archers. Pikes have shown up, and I sent out infantry as well. A lot of interesting sally outs in this battle. I sent out some Parthian swordsmen, and I told my ally, I know you're getting slammed hard by these pikemen, but just hold your position. I'm going to show up behind them and do as much damage to them as possible. We're finishing up the archers. They're breaking. I see another vulnerable target of archers. Now Masacely sends in his general to try to save the Seleucid general who's been putting up a hell of a fight. I go ahead and charge for the remaining archers. And there we go. I sent in my swords. We've got these pikes surrounded. That is huge. Not only are we've killed a general, we've killed multiple archer units. Now we've killed a pike unit, and this is all by sallying out. Huge, huge plays right there. Huge, huge plays. So there we go. Another archer unit gone. I'm trying to get them to where they shatter and don't return, because unfortunately these units did return to the fight. So that is a problem. Back over here, Masacely's general is still running around. Unfortunately, Saba's cav has been destroyed. I'm going to go ahead and reinforce my cav against his general because his general has been kicking our asses. Even though we had him sandwiched, he's just doing a great job. But hopefully with this extra support, I can break the Hellenic cataphracts. Now, while that's going on, let's do some slow motion really quick and see how the trench battle is going on, if you could say. Saba and Sparta doing an excellent job, still holding true against the Egyptian thorough spears and thorax swordsmen. Over on this side, the Spartans continue to hold what really looks like they haven't really been hit hard at all. But they're taking on some desert legionaries, and they've got a unit of Italian swordsmen in reserve. Also, good use here of these spears who have projectile capabilities, just throwing down and doing some damage from a distance. Over here, Saba still continues to hold back the desert legionaries, protecting the Spartan flank. And then down here, Mesesli has made some progress against my army, but now I'm sending in the Parthian swordsmen, which is the more elite section of my army. At this point, they've pretty much killed all of my hillmen. Now it's time to send up the strong guys to the fight. Hopefully they can hold. Over here, same thing. We're kind of holding on by a thread. This is probably the... Actually, no, we're doing just fine. Look at this. Oh, we flanked. That's right. We defeated Seleucid infantry here. Now we're rushing down infantry, and we're getting behind this pushing infantry, the thorax swords. I'm going to go ahead and keep charging down, and I'm going to try to get these desert legionaries, because if we can break through this, then we can get behind all of these units as well, and that will lead to a mass break situation, which is definitely what we want. Now back over here, you can see the general, unfortunately, has killed a lot of my cav. This infantry that killed those pikemen, I continue to pursue because I want this general dead. I think it will be completely worth it. And he kind of runs through my forces, and I kill a bunch of them by him doing that. So his general is down to 33 men. At this time of the battle, I told my general pretty soon. I guess I haven't told him yet. But I will command my general, which is a noble horse archer unit, to pursue that general because I want him dead. Now, right now, he's trying to kill off what's left of these Bloodsworn, and I was just praying that these Bloodsworn would just hold a little bit longer because I'm trying to get my infantry to throw javies, which I felt like would have been the most damaging move I could do, right? It would be the most deadly move. These guys do have ammo left over for projectiles, but they just don't use it. Sometimes they kind of use it. They get a decent amount of kills there, but they could have been so much more. They just waited a little too long, and now I'm going to pursue, but of course he's on horseback. He's now down to 19. I don't know if the general is dead or not, but nonetheless, I want to kill this unit because I've just worked so hard. I've spent so many units to pursue it. Now he charges me. I form shield wall. Try to nerf the charge there a little bit. This was kind of surprising. I'm really surprised that he actually charged into my infantry like this, but I am not complaining. Now Mesesli is sending in the last of his reserves. This is it, guys. This is the glorious push. You can see that Mesesli has made some great progress against my army. He's really got one unit of round shield swordsmen to break through. Sparta and Saba, on the other hand, they are continuing to hold. And you know one of the reasons why? This move right here with the infantry. He had no plan of attacking, but what it did is it kept Carthage on their toes and made them kind of sit there and watch them instead of helping their allies in this epic struggle in the city of Carthage. Now that he's like, screw it, I need to do something here, he's pursuing Saba, and Saba's just going to simply retreat and go back into the city. Really, really well executed by Saba. He does have some cav that's going after. He could try to kill a general here. Looks like they're going to turn and face the general. Yes, sirree, Bob. Oh, and they actually get some javies off. This is huge. Oh, see if they can... I mean, they kind of have to sacrifice their infantry here a little bit to protect their archers. I love this fight outside the city. It looks absolutely fantastic. And more infantry coming in to support. But honestly, get these archers back into the city. Now we have the general on camels charging in. Oof. What a nasty charge this is. Now back over here, we've got some spears. We've got some mercenaries just holding back the Egyptians. Same thing over here. Some Spartans holding back the Egyptians. Carthage really only has one unit in here. Anyways, while that's going on, my infantry is still out here. They're winded. They've been through a lot. They're still out here fighting. Actually, no. That's a new unit of infantry. That's right. I sallied them out. Look at this. We're getting super aggressive because we're winning on this side, and we want to quickly overwhelm this front. Now, finally, my general has moved to this area of the battlefield, and they're a little tired. They ran all the way over here. They were pretty far away. But at this point, I'm hunting generals right now, and this is an archer general, so I can kind of keep my distance and kind of harass the enemy, which is certainly what I'm going to do. But these guys can also charge into melee if need be. They're still heavy horses. You know, they can still have a big impact in a charge. So there we go. We cleaned up some enemy forces over in this area. I'm going to go ahead and charge in because I see that there's an opportunity here to get behind Masacely and quickly kill these guys, and then we can team up and start pushing over on this side because I want to take this gate back. They took the gate, and now it's like machine gun fire from these arrow towers firing down onto our troops. We need to change that. We need to fix that, and we need to reclaim the gate. Now that Carthage has pursued Saba and has done a considerable amount of damage to this army, they're now going to be able to concentrate their forces and help their allies in this assault on Carthage. So, again, I see some archers out of position. We got some peltas here, actually. So I'm going to go ahead and move in my general. I'm not even going to bother shooting. Now, I wonder if they do. Sometimes, let's see. Yeah, they do shoot. Okay. Oh, there's some pikemen out here. There's 2 units of pikemen out here. Gotta kill the pikemen. Let's see if we can get these archers. Or peltas, I should say. And sure enough, we charge in. We just don't have lances or spears. We just have swords, which is fine. And we're just going to try to do as much damage as possible before reinforcements arrive. I'm going to go ahead and get out of there real fast before the general gets in there and locks me in against pikemen. It's not a good situation. Carthage has pikemen as well. So even though we've done a considerable amount of damage to their forces, they still have a ton of pikemen, which are really good in choke point situations. Now, I have been pretty smart with my archers. I've just now sent them in to fight, so all my eastern slingers have ammo. A little thing that I forgot to mention at the beginning of this battle, I gave myself a little bit of a challenge. It wasn't that much of a challenge, but I said I could only buy the 3rd best of every unit type, so that's why I brought eastern slingers. This is the 3rd or like 3rd tier, if you get what I'm saying. Not necessarily the 3rd best, but the 3rd from last is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, that's why I think you can bring archers as Parthia, which probably would have helped me out a lot more, but that's okay. But yeah, we see some pikemen. No, we don't. Just kidding. I thought there was pikemen over here, but I'm wrong. So Swaby now in the front line, putting up a great fight against these thorax swordsmen. Back over here, we have fully charged in my infantry into Masacely's forces. And my general is just continuing to harass the attackers, keeping them on their toes. I see that Masacely has his general kind of in an area that I can harass, so I move them forward and start attacking this general. But what Masacely does here is actually a really good play. He sees an opportunity and he's gonna take it. And this was pretty devastating. So first off, he doesn't care about my infantry out here fighting these skirmishers. He just runs through. Pretty sure here. There he goes. He's gonna run through and he's gonna push behind my infantry and get a great hammer and anvil, and we literally have nothing to stop this. We've got some skirmishers, which at this point I'm like desperately trying to scramble these slingers because I think from this angle they don't have a shot. Sparta's doing the same thing. They're like, okay, we can sling, we can fire, we can try to shoot this general in the back, which we do, and we do inflict a lot of casualties. Smart play here too is that he's running through his men instead of running back out here. That would have lost him the unit most likely, and he breaks my infantry. He absolutely breaks it. That was a really good play by Pixelated. Thought he did a great job. I'm in full panic mode. I charged in these peltas. I'm like, dang it. My army. How could you? I just didn't expect that aggressiveness from him. Now back over here, look at this. We've got pikemen entering the arena. Egyptian pikemen in the fray. These hoplites are going to struggle against those pikemen. It is now time for the archers to open fire and try to kill as many pikemen as possible. Pikes have been activated. That's when we move up our slingers and skirmishers to just focus fire on those pikes. I think these guys could actually reach the pikes. It's not a great angle though, but some of their shots are landing and the pikes are falling fast. Pikes are so easy to deal with as long as you have skirmishers to deal with them. That's why oftentimes when you play with really good players, kind of like with these players, they held back their pikes till the end. Like, they have to send in the pikes at this point. Their pikes are absolutely necessary to try to take this settlement over. But unfortunately for them, we've held back a lot of our skirmishers, and just like that, we broke them. Yeah, that guy's dead. We broke them, and we pelted them into dust, and those pikes are done for. Pixelated still doing a great job here. He still has a decent amount of troops, and he's going to continue to push. We have a bunch of skirmishers being protected by one small unit of infantry, which I'm just going to hold my ground here and buy time for these archers. It's like the men look back. Run, you fools! Get out of here! We won't hold forever! So sure enough, my skirmishers get out of there. But thankfully, Sparta has some pikemen, and also we got some infantry from Swaby, Bloodsworn, joining the fray and protecting this front. So Pixelated still kind of holding back some reserves, keeping them fresh. Egypt has a bunch of archers. Carthage is now funneling in all of his army, and really this is going to come if Carthage wants Carthage, if they want to take the settlement back, they've got to win it right here. They've got to use their infantry. They probably have the strongest army close with Pixelated. It's up to those two players to win the day. Now it is getting pretty close, but if you look at the balance of power, it is in our favor. I'm not going to say slightly. That's a pretty strong in our favor, because keep in mind, we killed multiple generals. We killed multiple pike units, infantry, when we sallied out. I mean, there was a huge fight out here, guys. I mean, that's pretty cool to see. I always enjoy siege battles that have a huge sally out element to the battle. But I think we did a good job with the sallying out. All we have to do now is stand true, hold strong, and I think we should come out on top. I've got some archers, slingers. Did they run out of ammo, or am I just not paying attention? I assume they ran out of ammo. Nope, I'm just not paying attention, and I'm going to get them out of there. They were probably chasing down a unit. I told them to attack. I should probably put them on guard mode, but that's okay. They're going to fall back. I'm going to send in my infantry to help. I've got my hoplites. So I have 2 units of hoplites, which originally I was going to use as a last defense kind of thing. And look at longbow hunters that have seen any action. They have not seen any action. So yeah, I have my hoplites. They were here. I pushed them up. And now They are going to support here and join the fray. And just kind of be that last stand element. I got my general back inside the city, just kind of running around, keeping the troops happy, bolstering up their morale. And Sparta still has a very healthy army. Very healthy army. I got my slingers. I don't know if did they run out of ammo, and I'm just yeah, I think they did. They've got their daggers out. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. They might have been chasing down a unit like before. Yeah, I'm following them back, so I probably was not paying attention. All right, things are looking good. The hoplites in the front line here doing an okay job, but they're getting hit hard by the gates here. And that's why Masacely has been so defensive around it and just holding it, because it's doing a lot of damage for him, which is certainly what he's going to have to rely on here. And this unit is close to breaking, and as soon as they do, we're going to take these troops here fighting, and we're going to use them to flank the enemy. Like so. So once we break through, which they're already breaking, we're going to push this way, which is going to cause some issues for Masacely because we're knocking on multiple angles. We got the general of Swaby in the fight, absolutely doing some intense carnage. Fantastic job there.
Understood.
Understood. Understood. All right, we got some mercenary hoplites going in. Here we go. We've broken through. We're going to continue to push. He uses his projectiles, but my hoplites have some pretty solid defensive abilities.
Form phalanx.
I form phalanx here. I don't know why. I guess to give me extra defense against their projectiles. Look at that. I mean, it did a little damage. Don't get me wrong, but now I've got my ally to support me. I kind of took the brunt of those jabby throws. Unfortunately, I kind of disrupted his charge as well. Oh, man, they're going in. I love some of the charge animations, you know, when they first make impact. Pretty cool. But my hoplites, they're still holding their ground. I tell them to move forward, which they do in hoplite formation. Big flank over here because we've got some pikes from Sparta, which is another big issue for the attackers. We instantly break them there. And at this point, guys, it is most definitely clear that we're going to win this battle. I've got my general running around. He's going to go after the Carthaginians. And I'll go ahead and fast forward this a little bit, because all we have left here, I'll do double speed, not triple. All we really have left here is the Carthaginians. And basically at this point, they're just kind of making their last stand. They're on defense. They're like, well, boys, at least we got to defend in Carthage, as Carthage. But, yeah. Really, really good fight here from both teams. I think what won us the battle is just excellent teamwork, some great teamwork moves like synergy, you know, sending units to help each other out. I really like what Saba did there, sallying out a ton of forces and keeping Carthage so occupied. I would, personally, if I was Carthage, I would just ignore it and attack and just make sure I'd have my army all close together in case if he did move in, I could easily turn the table on him. But there you go, a costly victory, but a victory nonetheless. Let's go ahead and end the replay, look at the results. So, yeah, I got 1,500 kills. Freaking Sanderus over here. Sanderadamas. He got 3,241. Absolutely killed it with his archers, his infantry. He did a fantastic job with Swaby, which can be a very scary faction to deal with. And Elon Musk here, the attackers, you can see they got a considerable less amount of kills, but Masacely did a great job there, getting 2,200. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up, guys, for today's battle. I hope you guys enjoyed the fight as much as I did. Be sure to check out the live streams. I do play with my subs in the battles. Everybody's welcome to join. And also, if you're a YouTube member, you get the password before anybody else. But don't worry, if you're not a member, you will get a chance to join the battles, even if even if you don't get the password first. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time on the battlefield.